Hello, greetings, fellow earthlings, human beings, lovers, friends and family. I'm not going to read you a speech. I just thought I felt like I was sat at a news desk. So I want to say thank you to Sarah, the lovely set. Hope you hope people checked her out on the links to her page. Thank you to Matt Nichols. And yeah, we're going live now with a bit of poetry, and we're going to see what happens next. So, this is a poem by a dude that I met in Edinburgh called the Wise L. It's called Wizards in the Mist. Wizards in the Mist. I'm totally a socialist, locally a vocalist, nutter from the gutter, ghost town exorcist. To beat this quick fist, I give your head a twist. Surrealist soapboxer, I'll have a strong wrist. Moot finding, dentalist, spoon bending, mentalist, minor diviner. The earth should be kissed. Transcendental instrumentalist, rug cutter, skin breaker, wizards in the mist. From the bush to the brick, stick to the stone, wood to the hood, blood to the bone. Wizards in the mist, wizards in the mist. Move to a groove to prove you exist. Digital dream is no pontilist. It is all deep and meaningless. You are a computer, looter, green bean environmentalist. You get my miracle gist. You are a lyrical fist. Ahead, hatter, back, chatter. Battle catalyst. MC verbalist, MD herbalist, proper head chopper, a barefoot ecologist, naturalist, ruralist, naturally, a pugilist, flower, warrior. Medicinal purposes. From the bush to the brick, stick to the stone, wood to the hood, blood to the bone. Wizards in the mist, wizards in the mist. Move to a groove, prove you exist. Okay, sticking with you on the Mother Nature vibes. This is a poem I wrote. I used to live in Chester, in a street called West Street. I was very fond of that place. It was the only house I've lived in beyond the years of the house that I grew up in a village called Kirknewton. Hill House Terrace, that one was called. And one year we came home after being away at a festival or something, and our neighbours were out in the street all pointing up, and they were telling us that we had bees, like we were infected with bees. And we could see up in the rafter, the bees were up there building a nest, you know. So 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by. Every summer, you've brought bees here, you've brought bees here. It was like, can we not just let them be? They're nice. They make honey, medicinal. They're good creatures. Let them be. And fourth, fifth year, someone come round and said, right, we're going to have to get rid of them. So we actually fought with the council to let them come to the place every year. So I guess they die and they come back and regenerate and more bees come. I was quite happy with that. So this is called Honey Makes You Happy. I watch him chipping flint and sparking tinder. His skeletal curvature shelters indigo. This he thrusts into savannah's foliage. A torch fit to crown any Olympiad. He holds his prize, cigar-like, Castro-esque, weeping-eyed. He navigates hand-me-down routes upwards into the frenzied buzzing. His brethren roar encouragements. I join in the cheers. Up, upward, higher! The bees greet him, and I imagine the incessant humming. Perching, gathering courage, he puffs. The orange flames crackle. The black smoke beats the bees into submission. Suddenly, his arm shoots into the nest. Golden sweetness trickles into our laps. Larvae licked up, laughing with sheer elation. Hero hoisted shoulder high. Gluey fists punch the air, laughing with joy and love of abundance for what nature gave us. Honey makes you happy, I think, as I switch over to BBC News 24. Thank you. In case you hadn't got it by now, I'm a poet. I will be doing some songs at the end, and there is some amazing things coming up later. There's Andy sneaking back in the room. Thank you for tuning in to Llangollen Fringe Festival. My name is Chris Ingram. I'm one of your hosts for the evening. So, this is called Toxic Town. We've all been seeing the news, or we've heard about it, or read about it, or listened to it. This is my take on what's going on. There's nothing going down in Toxic Town. There's just knees on necks for alleged bad checks. Rednecks for AKs. That seems to be okay though. You don't raise no frowns in Toxic Town. This isn't a police state. We don't treat fellow human beings with complete disdain as we chew by on the choo-choo gravy train. The last laugh's on us anyway. We got insurance to the hilt. We own it from the top down. There ain't no free in Toxic Town. Toxic man and his orange face. Daddy and granddaddy love the KKK, but that's okay. Sitting on a White House, your tangerine house. Courage of a dead mouse tweeting out you're a rapist, racist, a psychotic symptom needs naming after you. You're a leader of no free world that I live in. You're wearing a ghoulish mask in a ghoulish gown. You're the grand high wizard of Toxic Town. Toxic Town, Toxic Town. Only colour white in Toxic Town. Where your white weddings and your white collar jobs. Where your white limousines. Where your crisp white cleans. It's another black day in Toxic Town. Free speech doesn't exist. The media, another asset on that rich man's list. Nothing to hear but the howl of the hound. Ow, ow, ow! That's the sound of the police. Nothing going down in Toxic Town as the blue light flashes in Toxic Town. Toxic Town, Toxic Town. No sex please in Toxic Town. You gotta go to work, you gotta consume, you gotta stay indoors, you gotta start grassing up your neighbours for having friends. You got the bends because the pressure, pressure, pressure. We all got the pressure. We want to grass up our friends, we want to get the bends, but we gotta stop pretending they ain't your friends. Let's all kill the frowns and let's go out and lay waste to the Toxic Town. Thank you. All right.
Woo! Christian ground.
Still, here we go. Right, so on a similar feel of that, this one is called Speak. Now, we are all brothers and sisters of the world, I believe. And I think divisions between language and race and culture is nonsense. We've got to have identity, but that should not divide us. This is about colonialism. We don't speak no Gaelic here. There is notions spread on boats by our glorious conquerors where fear of few controlled the many. What is thy bidding, my masters? There is gun dogs unleashed from gunboats in a foam of fury. Their gods and idols are made from your minds and our mind materials. Ow, ow, ow! But we became the sunblind, man. We could always find another axe to grind. We were found, drowned. Our body was cowed. We were not free until we snapped those chains again and we regained our dignity and we crowned our own gypsy queens. And they call us cockle sellers, swamp dwellers. We are pagan runebone shakers, resonators, earthquakers, peaceful warriors, rainbow sliders. The earth does not divide us. The mountain is glorious, trails estuaries of blood, rises floods, bonding green men to brides, raising those tides. We celebrate with our minds and our mind materials because we became the sunblind. We could always find another axe to grind. We were found drowned. We were cowed. We were frowned at the ground. We were unchained again till we became free from the mountains to the sea. We crowned our own gypsy queens from the mountains to the sea, from the mountains to the sea. Mother Nature loves you and me. But there is light, there is light, there is light. Our sons and daughters will burn the earth. And there is a scorched earth policy, and those flames burn. This discombobulation feeds newborn foals. We are thoroughbreds. We gallop lands with no fences, leap borders built by rich men's defences. We are free from the mountains to the sea, from the mountains to the sea. We are free from the mountains to the sea, from the mountains to the sea. We are free. We are free from the mountains to the sea, from the mountains to the sea. We are free from the mountains to the sea. We are free. Mother Nature loves you and me. All right. Okay, I've got time for because we got a 50-minute slot. I'm gonna sneak in.
Another one.
I'm gonna do one more, and it's called Iceberg. So Andy's going to join in singing
All
this.
right, why not? Okay, all right, great stuff.
Okay, sorry to finish on a depressing subject such as depression, but I think that if you've been through pain, anguish, hardship in your life, you appreciate the beautiful things in life. Take the gherkins out your burger if that's what makes you feel happy. That's all I'm saying. This is called Iceberg. Some days I should be attempting the expression of my aggression through athleticism. I see this through a prism, but I'm in a prison. So I drink wine sometimes when I'm not fine because I go colourblind. And sometimes I'm not fine and that is how I unwind. Some days I'm an iceberg, some days Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Some days I'm iceberg, some days Titanic. Today I am Titanic. I'm punching holes in the universe, man. Tossing cabers, sorting out intergalactic. Trade negotiations with lightsabers. Laughing with love and abundance. Thanking the universe for this meat-made mancraft. I'm floating on a palisade, on a parade of joy. And sometimes I'm the iceberg, some days Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. So some days I'm Titanic, today iceberg. Some days Titanic, some days iceberg. Above the surface all is well, but below is impending doom. And I want to kill that man-made iron-born phallic fallacy. I want to drown him, I want to kill him, I want to burn him. He's a regression of my depression, sinking us all under the sea, us under the sea, where everything is better, down where it's wetter, under the sea, down where it's wetter, everything's better, under the sea. I'm going to drown myself. I'm just a drip tray full of sadness, and I scold myself, I scathe me, I scar me, I hate myself. I am horrible. The devil wants his piece of me, and he wants his piece of me right now. Because an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. You gotta colour outside the line sometimes. You need to unwind when you ain't fine and jump on some cheap rhymes just like this. You gotta twist your wrist and you gotta think. You gotta claim, someone's gonna claim your soul. The devil wants to try, he's gonna stamp your ticket. Man, you can't get past, but you can. Because you are free, and we love each other, and we love you, and you love you, and you love me, and we are free. So you just gotta remember, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Oh, an iceberg sunk the Titanic. Thank you for listening. I'm Chris Ingram. That was some poems and some songs. Coming up next.